Uh, I was in the Army, drafted December 1st, 1965. We were sent to join up with another company. Um, and the situation was that another brigade was out there and they got themselves into some crap. And we were going there to help them out. The one thing that you did not do in Nam is you didn't chase the enemy, because that was a setup for an ambush. And they did that. So they put us together with another company. And when we got to our perimeter that particular night, the night of May 21st, 66, 67, the first thing that came into our mind was, what are we doing here? And the reason I say that is whenever we set up for the evening, it was always on high ground. We were set up in a valley, and you just don't do that. So when a forward observer would call in a fire mission, I would have the phone, the telephone right there. And I served as the lieutenants. Well, sometime after the battle got going, we were in the inside part of the perimeter, and I looked out and watched an RPG come in. And he killed my lieutenant. I was lying on the side of him. Took some shrapnel in the face. I didn't get my Purple Heart until 3 years ago, through my congressman and a lot of fighting. And he was able to get me that Purple Heart, which I needed for closure. Because sometimes I think, was I really there? And, yes, it's fresh in my mind what happened that day. But again, was I really there? And that's something I fight with every day. I came from a low-income family. When I got out of the service, 3 days after I got home, I was working again because that's what I had to do. My wife and I got married a year later. And then my daughter was born. And then 4 years later, my son. And I went to work every day and did everything I was supposed to do to take care of my family, and that was about it. It wasn't until 2008 where I walked off my job because I couldn't do it anymore. PTSD had finally caught up with me. And from that day forward, I think I was put on this earth to help all the veterans, and that's what I do. I'm a service officer. I help veterans fill out the paperwork they need to get their benefits from the VA. I went in there, had all my paperwork with me, and the person behind the desk says, last name, last four. That's how you're known at the VA. I gave it to him, and he said, you're not in the system. I said, I realize that, but I need some help. He says, fine. Have a seat. I'll be right with you. He got on the phone, called me back up, and he sent me into the main hospital. Gave me some directions, and I went to see this woman, and she says, how can I help you? And I says, so-and-so sent me. She says, yeah, I know. Are you a Vietnam veteran? I said, yes, ma'am, I am. Do you have your copy of your DD-214? Now, of course, I had it with me. And she said, I see you filed for benefits online and they denied you. That should have never happened. I'm going to take care of that. One push of a button and I was in the system. And she told me, I'm not finished with you yet. She made a telephone call. I walked into that PTSD clinic at 8 a.m. At 8:35, I was sitting with a psychiatrist. That's the VA of today. And that's why when I hear a veteran who's having a hard time, they're there to help us. And that's my job, to make sure that they get the assistance that they need. That's why God put me on this earth, to make sure everybody got the things that they needed.